Ryan Lenet, how are you, Beth?
Ryan. Mindy Silverman, thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Welcome back to Around the Table. I'm your host, Beth Goldsmith. As we all know, being a teen is never easy, and it seems that being a Jewish teen today brings additional challenges. Join me as we talk to three parents, Mindy Silverman, Amy Uddeme, and Ryan Lenet, about some of the most pressing issues currently facing their teenage children. We know that anti-Semitism is rampant on college campuses. So let's talk a little bit about how that has shaped how you talk to and work with your children as they're talking about going off to college. I know you have one.
The applications for this year were out right as that happened on October 7th. I think it made us just think about it in a different light as a parent to help them go back to what I was saying, navigate. It's going to be everywhere. I just explained to the kids, they proudly wear their Jewish star, they proudly wear other, mezuzah. I said, look, maybe things like that I wouldn't run around showing to everybody immediately. And it's sad that it has to be that way.
We were in New York City with our younger sons and walked by accident by a protest outside of Columbia, right in the thick of all of it. And our boys were scared. We crossed on the other side of the street, and it was definitely something that I talked to my son about afterwards in terms of, who makes up some of that population, and that these are the types of things that are out there because they do live in such a bubble. But
what's interesting is when we went through our this fall looking at schools and we went to visit, one of the things we did, we visited the Hillel houses, which I never would have thought of years ago, but we saw the Hillel and the activity and what they were like, and that had a lot of impact to the schools that we came down to be finals.
And I think I told you right before we sat down that talking to people who are advising parents about the kinds of things to look for, and they said, make sure that you don't just go to Hillel, make sure you ask a Jewish kid, what's the atmosphere like?
There is a glass half full to all this. I think because we come in this community and we're all Jews in Pikesville, in the area, we also became probably a year ago, and we just became complacent. We didn't think of ourselves as a minority, what started to realize. I think in some ways the glass half full is this has empowered all of us. Even if you're not super religious to very religious, we're all bonding together. And I think that could create, generations ahead of us, some power.
We hope you will join us for the Associated's next edition of Around the Table as we continue to explore what our community thinks about today's issues.